If you're in tech and you've thought about starting a side business, it's very common to start thinking about what tools you should offer. But here's the thing, when you're trying to start a business for small business customers, keep in mind they don't pay for tools, they pay for outcomes. So if you want to help small businesses, really what you need to do is stop thinking about selling tech and start solving problems. Because the truth is, most business owners don't actually care how you fix things. They just want results that make their lives easier and their business run smoother. So here's the backstory. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine the other day. We were talking about what kind of business he could start, perhaps something in tech, especially since that fit his skills. You see, he's CompTIA A+ certified and invested a lot amount of time into that certification. He's great with computers and as well as printers and other devices like that. So he's naturally the go-to guy whenever something stops working. Now, recently he was having a conversation with a buddy of his, a small business owner, who was frustrated with some printer issues and he couldn't get decent support from anyone local. So he said, maybe I should build a small business around that, Alex, helping small businesses with their computers, their networks, their printers, maybe even their servers or file storage. Honestly, it's not a bad idea. That's how many great businesses and small businesses entrepreneurs start, by seeing a problem and realizing people will pay to fix it. But then he asked a deeper question that made us both stop for a second. He said, how would that actually work as a business? Like, do people really pay enough for that? And that's really when I started to tell him something that changed the direction of our whole conversation. Because fixing tech isn't the same as solving business problems. Now, if you only focus on computers, printers, and the physical tech stack that a small business needs and operates, you end up in what I call the break-fix business. That means your income depends on something breaking. So they call you when their Wi-Fi crashes. You fix it. They pay you once and then silence until something else breaks. It's a cycle that's reactive, unpredictable, and honestly, having done it myself, it's exhausting. So the question becomes, how do you then provide ongoing value to small businesses in a way that keeps you involved month after month? And so that's where the real opportunity starts to develop, not in selling tech or break-fix services or things like that, but in providing additional solutions. So when you shift your offer from I fix things to I make your business run better, all of a sudden everything changes. You go from being just another expense to being a partner in their success. And here's what I've seen. The market will always pay more for people that make problems disappear than for people who just simply replace cables. Now, don't get me wrong. Small businesses need help with their technology, but what they really want is help growing, organizing, and simplifying how they run. Now, I recently saw a stat that said that over 70% of business owners list marketing and customer retention as really their biggest challenge. Those aren't tech issues. Instead, they find themselves being overwhelmed. They deal with missed calls, unbooked appointments, lack of follow-ups, lost emails, disorganized spreadsheets. That's what they're dealing with. Oftentimes on a regular basis, they're not asking who could fix my printer, especially nowadays that you can just ask ChatGPT. They're asking, how do I get more customers and keep the ones I already have? And you see, that's where your opportunity can live, not in just being the tech person, but in being the growth partner. Now, that's not to say you can't do both. You can't complement their tech stack services and their break-fix services, but you want to think about, how can I supplement? How can I provide additional solutions that make me more valuable? So, and that's really the solution shift, because you want to figure out how to make that shift from the tech stack to the business solution side. So let's take a simple example. Let's say a local salon calls you because their computer's slow and they can't print receipts. Sure, you could fix it, and maybe you make $100. Or you could ask better questions. How are you tracking your appointments? How do customers rebook? Do you follow up after each visit? Now the conversation just went from fixing tech to fixing their customer experience. Now you still fix their printer, don't get me wrong, But then you figure out what else do they need. And that's really key. And this is where tools like High Level and other AI automations can come in. You can help them set up systems that automatically book appointments, send reminders, capture reviews, respond instantly with an AI receptionist, and even bring back lost customers who haven't booked in a while. And here's the best part. When you offer that, you're not selling just repair services anymore. You're selling transformation. You're becoming a business partner, not just an expense or the tech guy. So instead of a one-time $100 perhaps job for fixing a printer, you're creating a $297 a month relationship. And that's on the low end. And instead of being on call for emergencies, you're adding and building predictable income that compounds over time. And that's what businesses like those that establish themselves with High Level do differently. They stop selling tasks and start selling results. So let's pause for a second, because if you're watching this, you're already thinking about building something real, and I want to help you do it the smart way. So grab your free copy of my ebook, Zero to Business, the AI-powered playbook. Inside, I'll walk you through how to start your very own business from scratch and set up your personal AI business coach, a tool that helps you to plan, make decisions, and stay accountable as you grow. You'll also learn how to leverage AI, automation, and proven frameworks to move from idea to income much, much faster. The links are in the description. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join GHL Money Labs, our private community where we share resources, we run live sessions, and we help each other grow. Now let's jump back in. Now, when I explained this to my buddy and as we were having the conversation, I can literally see the shift in his face. He said, "Alex, you're telling me I shouldn't just fix stuff? I should help them improve how they run their business?" I was like, exactly. Because once you step into that business role, you start becoming irreplaceable. And I told him about a small business I used to help years back. Back then, I managed their file servers and computers, the classic IT stuff. But the real turning point came when we helped them automate customer reminders and payments. And that's the point when they stopped chasing invoices. Their customers started coming back on schedule, and the owner told me, "Hey, I finally have my weekends back." That's important. And so that's when it hit me. That business owner didn't care what software I was using. She cared that she could finally breathe. And so that's what small business really is. It's peace of mind. Now here's where most people miss the mark. You see, when you sell technical work, you're basically selling inputs, your time, your tools, your skills. But when you sell solutions, you're selling outcomes, results that make life easier for your client. And people always pay more for outcomes. Let me put it to you this way. If I tell you I'll sell you a hammer, you'll ask how much. But if I tell you I'll save you a weekend by coming and building that shelf that you've been wanting, you're going to ask, "Hey, how soon can we start?" You see, that's the difference between a tech stack and a business solution. And so this ties right into what Alex Hormozi calls his value equation. But let's make this more practical, because your value grows every time you make results feel bigger, faster, easier, and more certain for businesses. So instead of coming in to your client and say, "Hey, I'll fix your computers and make sure that all your software is updated," you can say, "Hey, I'll help you capture every lead that comes in automatically." And instead of saying, "I'll set up your CRM," you say, "I'll make sure that you'll never lose a customer again." Both of those, same work, completely different perception of value. So when people believe you can get them a better outcome in less time, with less effort and less risk, they don't compare you to the next tech guy. They see you as the one who gets it. And so that's how you move from being an expense to truly being an investment. So if you're sitting there thinking about starting your own service business, maybe you're like my friend, great with tech, maybe even you're fully certified. This is your next step. You see, you already have the technical foundation. That's awesome. That's important for this type of business. But now it's about translating that skill into ongoing recurring value. So start by asking better questions. Instead of asking simply what's broken, ask what's bottlenecked. Instead of asking what tools do they use, ask what's taking too long. And instead of asking what software they have, ask what's stressing them out. Those answers will point you toward your next offer. And when you pitch it, don't lead with the tech, lead with the outcome. So if they tell you they waste hours every week following up with leads, you don't say, let's build you a CRM. You say, let's make sure no lead ever slips through the cracks again. That's how you speak the language of results. The tech is how you do it. The transformation is why they buy it. And that's why small businesses really look for something like this. This is really what they need, because they're looking for those partners who understand both sides of that equation. Now, if you're ready to build something that lasts, not just fix tech, but create business solutions, start by getting your foundation right. I put together a free 72-hour starter pack that walks you through exactly how to launch your first high-level based business in 3 days. It breaks down the services, the systems, and the automations small businesses actually need, so you can start earning faster and smarter. You'll also get templates, scripts, and workflows that you can plug right into your business. And when you're ready to take it further, join GHL Money Labs. It's our private community where agency builders share their real playbooks and strategies that are working right now. Now, full transparency, if you sign up for High Level using my affiliate link, I may earn a commission at no extra cost to you, but it's one way to support the channel while getting access to the same tools that I use every day. So now I'm curious, what do you think about this? Do small businesses need more help with their tech or more help growing their business? Drop your thoughts below. I read every single comment.